for all things Halloween, this is Hauntformer, and welcome back to part 2 of the 2015 life-size Foxy build. Now, I'd first like to apologize for the gap between the builds. The gap is because I've been building him during these videos, so as you'll see probably with part 3 that there's going to be a gap between each build, but you will get to see Foxy as he is being revealed. So, thank you for all your patience, and this is part 2, where we're going to be working on Foxy's head. And let me show you what we're going to be using for Foxy's head. What we're going to be using is this metal mesh. We got from Home Depot. It's about $10, so not very expensive. And this metal mesh we're going to bend into the shape of Foxy's head. Then using cloth and paper, we're going to make some mache, and we're going to cover the head with the paper mache, let it dry, and we're going to have a Foxy head. Then after that, we just have to put teeth, eyes, and paint it. And then we're going to have a full-size Foxy head to put on our endoskeleton. So that's what's coming up for you in part 2 of the Foxy build. So here is the frame of Foxy's head. It's hard to kind of see, but as you can see, there's his lower jaw, and there's this upper snout that I'm holding onto right now. He's got a big back head, and we're going to put his ears up on those sides, and teeth going in there. It looks like he's biting on my hand. That's the bite of 2015 right there. But as you can see, that's kind of how it's going to look. And he's got room for eyes up here, and this metal wire that we picked up from Home Depot. It's like a poultry wire or chicken wire. As you can see, that's Foxy's outline of his head. Right there. Alright, so the next thing you want to do is get some old bed sheets or some newspaper. And you're going to cut them into strips for paper mache. As you can see, I have one of the strips right here. It might even have to be cut even more. What you're going to do is take flour and water, and you're going to mix it together to get a paste. Then dip each one of these strips into the paste, and then lay it over the Foxy endoskeleton head. And then we'll have to let it dry. So here's the flour and glue right now, and we're about to add some water. But that's going to be the paste for the paper mache. And we got a hose to put the water in. So we don't want too much water, or else it's not going to be very thick and it's not going to stick that well. And then you're going to dip each strip. Let me show you the strips. Here's the strips. We're going to dip each one of these in there and then lay them on Foxy's skull. Like that. Alright, everybody. So today is, let's see, February, I want to say 23rd or so. It's a Sunday. And we've been working on Foxy for quite a while now. So I kind of wanted to show you the progress that I've made. My dad and I have been working on him, putting the paper mache and wrapping it around. So let's show you. And first of all, let me just mention, yes, the haunt prop shed is disastrous. I've been working on the trailer for this year's haunt. So as you can see, there's like props all over. It's kind of crazy. But there's the Foxy head currently. I've got red and a tannish color that we're going to use to spray paint the head and ears. And we also have, right here, his whiskers. So in the game, he's got whiskers. So here's kind of his whiskers right there. And we got his ear, his other ear over there, and then his full head and everything. And let me see if it dried. Yeah, it's pretty dry. I guess it doesn't have to be super dry, but I'm going to start spray painting it so you can see what it's going to look like. Alright, everybody, so the paint I'm using is Rust-Oleum. It's a great brand. Ultra Cover, and this is the red, and then we've also got the tan we're going to use for the snout area. This is going to be tan right here. We're going to have a little black nose. teeth have to go in there too, but that's going to be later. And we have the ears to do, and the side of the face with the whiskers. So that's what I'm going to be spray painting right now. Let's get started. Ooh, that's a nice red. Looks like Foxy in the game, and also it looks kind of like blood, so... Just getting started, and we're gonna keep spray painting until we get the whole head. Alright, everybody, so we got a lot farther on Foxy. This is still a continuation of part 2. It's pretty long, so I apologize. I haven't edited the video together yet, but I imagine it's going to be a little bit long, because this was a long process, but it's probably the most important process, just behind the frame of the body, because the frame's important, but the head is really what people are going to notice. So, what we've got is the ears now attached to Foxy, and the mouth, and the full head. We have to finish some painting, but for the most part, we're done with the painting. I'm probably going to use an eye patch. I think I have one over there that we're going to put on one of the eyes. And on the other eye, we're going to just maybe paint an eye. I had fake eyes, but I'm not sure how well they're going to work with Foxy here. Now we're going to get some flares on the top, and we have some flares on the side because of his fur. And then we're going to add some other details such as a nose and some streaks, and we'll see how he looks. So now, as you can see, my dad just put in the pipe cleaners for the top, and we're going to put them now on the side for some whiskers because he has some excess hair. Now I'm painting the eye, Foxy's eye. I guess this paint is a little harder to get out than I thought. I'm just going to paint a big enough white circle, and then we're going to later fill it in with his iris and his actual eye. So I'm going to need more white. But as you can see, we also painted the black on him. Still white paint. And we're going to put teeth in there. What we maybe are going to do is use more of the cleaners pipe cleaners to make his teeth. And then maybe for the back ones, we'll just use white paint. So now, as you can see, Foxy's starting to actually look like Foxy, or he kind of looked like, I don't know, like a weird animal. But now he looks like Foxy from Five Nights at Freddy's. I'm just using this small little brush with some gray just to get around the ears. I probably am going to need a bigger brush, but I'll just start. As you can see, that's Foxy. Alright, everybody, here's the moment of truth. Now, the head is pretty much done, except we have to make a little bit of a neck out of PVC. And also, we're going to fill it with foam so it will be sturdier. But here is the final Foxy head. Dun 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 dun. Wow. So, there he is. Let me see if I can get a better look at his head, because it's so bright. So, there's his eyes. They look a lot like they do in the game. His whole head is colored red. Let me see if I can open his mouth a little. He's got some painted teeth. But we're going to add some sharp teeth in the front so it gives a little texture. He's got the sides with the pipe cleaners. And the top with some pipe cleaners. And the whole head is covered. I think it turned out great. Let me know how you think it turned out. I think it's going to be great for the head. So basically, that's the end of part 2. I apologize again for the gap between part 1 and part 2, as there probably will be between part 2 and part 3. Basically, part 3 is going to be covering this body with more metal mesh, and then adding skin. We're probably going to use fur to make the skin. Finally, I just want to note that we're going to probably add an eye patch to him, just so you know, on this eye. I do have an eye patch, I still have to find it, but that is Foxy. So let me know what you think, and, of course, for all things Halloween, this is Hauntformer.